Hey guys, welcome to another review. This time it's of Series 8 Rick from the Walking Dead McFarlane series of figures. Now, I didn't know if I would be able to get these figures, but I walked right into my Toys R Us and lo and behold, there they were. I was shocked. Anyway, let's go over the packaging before I open them up. Here's the other figures from the line. There's Bob Stuckey, Tyrese, that's a Walgreens exclusive, I believe. Dale, I did a review on him. Make sure to check it out. There he is. And Morgan, I'll be doing a review sometime in the future. Eugene, Rick, that's this guy. And then Carol, she's a GameStop exclusive. Yeah. Well, let's rip him open because I'm a little ecstatic at seeing him out of the package. Come on, buddy. Yay, he's out. Freed from his cage. Let's whip him out of here. Okay, yeah, he feels good in the hand already. Very nice and solid. Now, a YouTuber, Mr. Evil Cheese, had a problem with his legs where one leg sort of broke loose. Now, I'm going to see if mine does that before I continue the review. Because at one point I did a review and the figure broke apart like as I was doing the review, and that was this figure. Yeah, check out that review, by the way. Okay, the legs are good. Nothing's breaking here. Okay. I'm luckier than Mr. Evil Cheese. Oh yeah. Now, let's pull out some of his accessories here. As you know, it's held in with tape, which is kind of hard to get it around. Pull the figures out, the things out. Jeez. A lot of these accessories are reused parts, like, this is just a repainted version of the previous machete from, Series 6 of figures, I believe, yeah. And, it's not a bad accessory. Just seems like, they could have resculpted a new one because I believe it didn't look like this. Like, see, here's a side-by-side here. Let me see. I've got a new camera that can focus, so let's see if I can get... Oh, yeah. Focus. Now, there's a nice dirty wash and a much more silver paint on the blade of the new one. As you can see, this older one is very gray. And then a nice red color on the new one. There is no blood on the new machete, and there was like no wear on the old one. Anyway, very nice. I actually like this machete more immediately. And then we have Rick's pistol, which is the same pistol that they've reused for the others, but I think this doesn't really matter because he does carry the same pistol in the show, so why should they change the figures up? And now his machine gun. This is an AK-47 assault rifle, I believe. It's got a nice strap on it here. Kind of pliable. It's not really rubber. It's kind of like a hard plastic. Yeah. It's connected over on this side with these tiny little pegs. So I think this strap will rip off at some point in the future. It's got nice silver wash over it, making it look a little metal. And then there's variation in the colors, like the stock is brown and the main part here, that is silver. But you can't really tell because it's a very subtle sort of change in the color. Like the strap is also brownish black, but you can't tell. Okay. But now let's go over the figure himself. Here is his face sculpt, and right off the bat, I think I got one of the best face paints as well. I've seen some people who have him where he looks like a heroin addict, and mine doesn't look like that. He looks very nice. This is the best sculpt I think we've gotten so far on a Rick. And let me do a side-by-side with another one so we can see the differences. This is from season 2. Man, times have changed a lot. Yeah, see, I think the new one looks a lot more like Andrew Lincoln than that one. And then here is the other Rick. I believe this one is from season 6. No, series 6 figures. But he is around season 3 to 4 time. Yeah, I think. Early 4, late 3, perhaps. Yeah. But mine has good paint on it because I repainted him. Most of them don't end up looking like this one. But yeah, I think this new one does look a little bit more like Andrew Lincoln than that one as well. Andrew Lincoln, of course, is the actor who plays Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. And another thing that I've seen people have a problem with is where the shirt and the neck are the same color. I don't have that problem on this figure. Not like at all. Okay, now this does reuse part of this guy. It's the bottom part. I don't think it matters though because it looks nice on him, so why not? Now let's go over the accessories in his hands. Now I'm going to put this in the left hand, the machete, a little tight. Yeah, his left hand is definitely tight. I'm guessing this is for gripping the smaller accessories that he has. Very tight indeed. He holds that very well. You can imagine him, spoiler warning, killing Gareth with that. You know? And if you didn't catch that spoiler warning fast enough, then I don't know. It's not my fault, man. You're the one watching a review of a figure from a series that you haven't watched yet. Anyway, the machine gun here, the AK-47, fits into this hand very nicely. The hands are sculpted very well to hold weapons, as you can see. Now, let's go over that paint on his face real quick. He's got blood on his face, like he's been beaten up. I believe that was like early season 5, yeah, that he had these cuts on his face. And then he's got, this isn't a unibrow he's got here, it's a tiny little cut on the bridge of his nose. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you definitely can see that, right? And then he's got good variation in the paint. He's got a grayish color on his beard as well as other brown colors. And then he's got black color in here as well as sort of a brown dry brushing. He's got very kinky curly hair. And it's very thick. Looks nice. Now this is him when he was growing his beard in. Getting real manly. And it looks really nice on him. Anyway, as you can see here, he is great for posing. Man, I can't wait to be done with this review just so I can play around with him. That's right, I play with toys. Here he is standing side by side with a fellow Series 8 figure. This one is definitely superior to this one already, I can tell. Now let's go over him holding the rifle double-handedly, which is something that many of the figures can't do too well. I can tell that they had to cut his elbows here, like very deep, so that they could get him to articulate well. And yeah, I definitely believe he can get into a double-handed pose here. Oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt. The only problem is his tight fingers. Let me loosen this for a second here. I'm always trying to be careful with these now since I had an accident a little while ago with a figure. Anyway, I can't get that hand open. I'm probably going to loosen up with hot water later. But yeah, he could get in a double holding pose. He's got great articulation in the arms. Yeah. This is the best figure I've seen so far. Definitely. He's better than the Daryl, which it was, for articulation, the Daryl was like the best so far, but I like the way he's articulated slightly better just because he's got stronger articulation points. Now, let's take the revolver, the only thing I haven't put in his hand so far. Also, the machete fits into his right hand, I'm sure. So if you want it in there, it also fits. You can be attacking you there. There is a lot of posability with this guy, and there's a lot of good poses that you can get out of him. Oh yeah. His body is well sculpted. I don't think I could compliment this figure enough. He is just... McFarlane has repaid all the debts he owes me. Especially with this figure that he probably owes me quite a bit for that one, you know. But yeah, look at that. He's always pointing his gun off to the side, so let's see how well he pulls that off. Yeah, pretty good. Oh yeah, I can see a Rick pose there. That is beautiful, man, beautiful. Oh wow, I've seen a lot of people do customs with this one, and already, yeah. But I wouldn't want to cut him up or anything to make a custom just because he's so nice. Now let me go over articulation so I can get back to his sculpt and paint. He has, starting at the head, sort of a full spin, yeah. Full spin. A little hard to do because of his hair, I think. He's got head pivot. Let me pull him a little closer for this. Head pivot. And he can look down a wee bit. Actually, he can look down really good. Yeah, that's quite a bit. Up is a little hard because his hair is thick and long, which is something that the Dale figure didn't have a problem with, because it doesn't have any hair. He does full spin on both shoulders, I'm sure. Very tight. Yep. And they can go up pretty good. More so on the right arm, which, yeah, I suppose that's good. It doesn't really matter. Maybe it's just because he's very tight from being a recently opened figure. Another thing I'd like to point out is he's not as stubby as this figure here. He seems a little taller as well. Just because this guy looked a little dumpy, and this guy looks definitely more slender. Maybe it's just the way the jacket makes him look, but he looks skinny like Andrew Lincoln is. Whereas this guy looks not right. Anyway. Arm articulation, right. Can go up and down, and here we get a little over 90 degrees. Definitely, yeah. Which is good for holding that rifle, for sure. So he does a full spin here. Then he can do rotation really a little. His wrists can't articulate too well because of the sleeve here. As you can see, hands are really dug into that recess. This hand can move slightly more on mine. Yeah. Feels a little loose. Whereas everything else is tight, that one's loose. He probably could do a spin at the waist here, but that's again something that I'm not going to try because it's really tight and I don't want to force him to break. He's got a very solid jacket, but that doesn't seem to inhibit him from kicking or bending his knees, of course. Let's see if he can get in a sitting pose in a vehicle. As you know, Jurassic Park figures are within the same similar scale as Walking Dead, and so they can kind of sit in each other's vehicles. Yeah. Yeah, he can drive. Definitely looks good in this driving position. Oh yeah. But he's Rick Grimes. Did you think he couldn't drive? Of course he could. Let's pull his legs down carefully here. Don't want to end up with a broken figure. Ankles have no articulation. Knees bend very well. Full spin there. Oh yeah. And yeah, he can do great splits there, man. And his little gun holster here restricts it just the slightest bit, not much for the leg kicking out there. Of course, this leg can kick out very freely. And let's put this in the holster. I've heard people having problems with that, so let's hope that I don't break my gun on the first try here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to go in there very well. I'm probably going to have to modify that. It looks like it's not quite as big as the other ones were. I think this is maybe a new Sculpt or new plastic. Yeah, that's about as far as I'm going to be able to get it in for now. I'm going to have to modify that. And since he did have a loop in the show to put this in, I think we can sort of fake that by just sticking it under his jacket. There we go. See, he can hold both of his accessories there, and then this has a strap. He's got to be like the first Walking Dead figure that could carry all of his stuff on him and still have free hands. Think about that. That is really nice. Anyway, let's pull this crap out. I love the paint on him. As you can see, he has a nice black wash on his white t-shirt here. Some people think, I believe, that he should have a brown t-shirt, but I can't remember that episode too well. I'll have to review it later, see what it looks like. He's got this fur, sort of fleece look there on his collar. Very textured, very well painted. Gets in the little creases there, each little recess. And that goes all the way around to the back. It's got nice stitching sculpted into there. Nice dark colors. And his jacket doesn't look like it's just one solid color. It looks like there's little different colors added on, as you can see. He's got silver on his buttons. And I'm also going to add, I noticed on this wrist, it's not skin colored underneath there where the wrist is. It's actually a gray color. Yeah, you can see it inside of there. So I guess there was like no reason for them to paint that anyway, so I don't blame them for that. His boots and pants, again, they're the same as the Series 6 Rick. So yeah, but let's get sort of a size comparison here, because I believe this one, yeah, he fits into scale much better than the other Rick. I believe Daryl's only slightly taller than Rick, and that seems about right here. Yeah, this is the dual-wielding crossbow variant that came from Fantasyland of Daryl, of course. Anyway, let me put his stuff back on and kind of wrap up this episode, because I think I've gone over everything. Again, magnificent. I gotta say, I'm sort of geeking out about how awesome this figure is. I highly recommend. In fact, if you're going to get one figure from the show at all, let's say you have a fire in your house and you have to grab one figure. Let's say you own this figure as well as all that you own right now. Definitely get this guy and take him to safety. Forget all the others. This guy's the one that matters. If I had to pick one figure to take with me for the rest of my life, this guy would be it. So, tell me what you guys think about my review in the comments. I love hearing comments, and I love feedback. Any sort of liking, sharing, subscribing, that sort of lifts my spirits, you know? Makes me feel like I should keep on reviewing. Also, he does have blue eyes. Some people were kind of wondering if the figures get blue eyes painted in there, and yes, he does have blue eyes. Because the actor does. Well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.